Alright, so Harry Potter, it's bullshit. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's just complete and utter bullshit. Some of the parts of it, you're like, come on. I mean, and I don't mean because they're using magic and magic doesn't exist. No stupid shit like that. But the only reason why I'm making this video is because I've recently been playing Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery again. And I just thought of some yesterday in the shower that I thought, well, that is complete bullshit. That's a thought. That bit is bullshit. Just as a bit of a thing, before we actually start the video, just know I've only watched the movies and I haven't watched them in ages and I haven't read any of the books. And there were people saying, well, hold on a minute, how are you going to make a video on Harry Potter then? Because I can and will, I can do what I want, it's my channel, fuck off. But getting on with it a bit, I don't actually know what happens, but I don't want to talk about the whole first book / movie, mainly the movie because I haven't read the book. But I mean, how does Harry survive? I mean, again, there's probably an obvious answer to this if I just read the book or rewatched the movie, which would be answered in a second. Or I could search it up on Google, but I'm not going to. So how the fuck does he actually survive the strongest wizard or whatever that's ever existed? Like, sorcerer, whatever that's ever existed. Anyway, moving on to the actual point that I was making at the start of what I thought of to make this video. Hogwarts, how they get there. Platform 9 3/4. First of all, the main bit is Hagrid just leaves Harry in King's Cross Station to find platform 9 3/4. And I'm like, hold on a second. How are you supposed to find that? It doesn't exist to anyone. It doesn't exist to muggles, right? Harry has had no connection to the wizarding world, except, for the fact that everyone else knows that he exists. He doesn't know he's magic, basically, right, at this point. So how the fuck is he supposed to know how to get onto the platform? I mean, Hagrid, just leave him to his own devices. So if the Weasley family weren't there, what? Does the book, films, he just doesn't go? Does it not happen? But even worse than that is how they actually get onto the floor. Because if I'm remembering rightly, they get these, trolley, right, or whatever, and just ram into a wall, which obviously gets them through to the platform. But what I'm going to say now is, when Harry and whoever, goes through the thing to get to the actual platform, you're sort of thinking, here, hold on a minute. We do know, cameras exist. And, it's a train station. There's, going to be people, muggles walking about the place, thinking, where the fuck did that, all these people just go? They just walked into a wall and now they're gone. You know what I'm saying? This will be investigated. There's cameras there. Everyone's going to be thinking there'll be an investigation going on again to magical activities, because I'm sure it's happened before in the wizarding world. Muggles finding out about magical activities. You'll be like, where are these people going? They've walked into a wall and they're gone. Then, basically, they just board the train. Harry and Ron board the train and that. And then Hermione shows up, fixes Harry's glasses, even though, I don't know how, to be honest, but with some Oculus repair spell or something. But skipping ahead a bit, once they get to Hogwarts, everything starts going down, I don't know, actually, no. Draco shows up. The main thing I want to say is about this really quickly. Snape, in potions, basically says to Harry, some shit about some potion. Harry doesn't have a clue. Because, obviously, he's, hasn't... He doesn't know anything. He might as well just be a muggle floating about the place that's never heard of magic. Because that's basically what he is. Honest to God. But anyway, we move on. What I mean by this is, Snape, obviously, this is just Snape being a dickhead. Because Snape has got to know, right, that Harry Potter hasn't got a clue about magic. And obviously he's never heard of this wizarding world bollocks. And he's obviously going to have no idea what's in some sort of, magical, weird fucking potion. Bit of a thingy one, Draco Malfoy. I mean, his rivalry with Harry doesn't really last that long, if you ask me. I don't know what it's like in the books. But in the movies, again, it's a bit underwhelming. Because they have that, not Quidditch, the scene with the brooms and that, where, Harry conveniently knows how to fly a broom in a second. Because I think his dad was, a champion Quidditch player or something. But, it's not genetics. It's not like biology. It's something to do with it. It's how is he. But, anyway, Draco, basically, after, the second movie, Draco Malfoy, he's just, he's still flying about being a dickhead. But in terms of, like, the actual rivalry with Harry, there's no, like, you know, in the first book, there's that movie, I mean. In the second movie, there's, like, this other altercation where they pretend to be, like, Malfoy's, you know, like, hitmen or whatever they are, like, Malfoy's lackeys. But after the third movie comes around, just starts lacking off a bit. I mean, he's still, honest to God, the only thing I remember out of the rivalry is Hermione punching Malfoy in the face and Malfoy sending a weird, like, you know, picture to Harry Potter about Harry Potter being struck by lightning while playing Quidditch. So, yeah, what's that about? But getting back to the actual first book, the trio go on some adventure or something. Ron knows how to play chess, even though he's a dumbass. And then the snake escape the devil's snare. Like, but basically, what I'm getting to around to here, I'm not dissecting the whole book. I know fuck all about it by this point. Basically, what I'm going to say is Professor Quill, Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, which does make you question how there's new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher every year, right? But is it Quill's first year as well? We don't know. I mean, probably isn't. So, is the curse just from when Harry Potter shows up, or what? How long has Quill been there? Again, there's probably some of you, like, Neeks, saying stuff along the lines of, oh, there's literally a thing in the book, or it says in the movie, oh, it's his first year appointed or something. I don't know. Right, so these are genuine questions from me. Well, yeah, either way, it turns out that Quill has Voldemort in the back of his head somehow. The, like, remains of Voldemort, I guess, 10 years later. I just don't know what Voldemort has been doing for the 10 years that Harry's been alive. I mean, has he been in Quill for 10 years? I don't know again. That's sort of making you question. But he tries to find the Philosopher's Stone, which burns his hand, and then Harry somehow doesn't get burnt or something, and Harry kills him. So he's already on one kill. I mean, it's the first movie. This is like where, this is where, like, it's still, like, sort of childish here. We're just getting into the Hogwarts. Oh, look, the School of Magic. All of a sudden, the professor's dead. Like, Harry has killed someone. The main character in a children's movie book series has killed someone in the first book and movie. Again, I do need to stop sort of saying in the book, because I have no idea what happens in the books. Obviously, I've never read them, but it's just a thing. I always say just in the book and in the movie, but I don't know. The book could be completely different. I know there's, like, major differences here and there. But overall, that's pretty much the first movie, I think. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do this as a full series. If I am, it's probably going to be going on forever. The next video, what I'm doing, isn't Chamber of Secrets, by the way. Well, it will be if I carry on this series, this mini-series. But I doubt I'm carrying this on. But yeah, I mean, it gets more interesting from this point. The first one was a bit dead, just finding out about the magical world and that. The second one is actually decent, but obviously we'll get to this. But when we get on to, like, 3, the third one is going to be a bit weird. Just to God. But yeah, and I'm not, like, rewatching them. I'm not going to go out of my way and rewatch them for this series. I don't give a fuck. Well, I'm off anyway. That's it, done. Movie 1, Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone, absolute shit. Sorcerer's Stone if USA. Shit!